Y'all just might pull it out, kid. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Man, y'all already know what's good, y'all. What's good, y'all. What's good, y'all. What's great. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild, and I'm joined my co-host, my brother from another mother. Blood couldn't make us any closer. One of the best photographers in the world. My brother Santana. Say something to people.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all could have been anywhere else, but y'all here with us tonight. And for that, we thank you. And as always, we got a jam-packed show, so we just gonna get right into it.
Man, we appreciate y'all as always, each and every episode, every Sunday, every Thursday, every Sunday, every Thursday, every Sunday, every Thursday at 10:30 p.m. I was just double checking on Knicks game, just checking the updates because I know all the people that's in the chat is also watching that game as well too. So I'm just double checking on this game real quick. Again, we want to thank y'all. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're a little over 11,000 subscribers for this channel. So again, continue to like, subscribe, share, y'all. Share, leave comments, and check into subscriptions portion of this page. Different subscriptions, different access. So make sure y'all tap in. Also, there's merchandise links in the bio. Make sure y'all tap in. Continue to support big time. Um, Real quick, the presenting sponsor of this podcast is Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, and documentary and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps, button hyphenated snaps.com. Uh, duh, 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 duh. Again, checking this next game. Y'all already know what time it is. Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping. It's Sunday night. Everybody's feeling good. Sunday night. Y'all already know popular opinions. Remember, y'all, these are not our questions. These are the world's questions. So stick to the answers in the questions. This segment is brought to you by OUV Records. The label model is create, document, and inspire. So make sure y'all stay in tune to the latest music and merchandise. But make sure you tap in on Instagram at OUV Records. All right, y'all, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Again, first segment of the night, popular opinions. Most boring states, according to the censors, most boring states of America on this list. Most boring states of America on this list. Number one, Idaho. Number two, Nebraska. Number three, Iowa. Number four, Delaware. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. I don't agree with one of them already based on what I heard, but I ain't never been there, so it's based on what I heard. So I can't go on based on what I heard. I gotta go with it, but from what I heard. But what you going with, bro? Say Idaho, but we gotta remember there's two major colleges in Idaho. Idaho, and then you also got Boise State. Boise State gets it popping from what I hear. I heard with Idaho, the University of Idaho is that. I heard they get it popping when it comes to the parties. Again, that's based on what I hear. You know what I'm saying? But the Census Bureau, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to, my boy Red from Friday, the Census Bureau, according to them, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say Nebraska because it ain't nothing but cornfields, KKK activity in Nebraska. So to me, I would think it's Nebraska. They only got the Nebraska the Huskies there. From I've never been there, but I would say Nebraska on this list. So I'm gonna say Nebraska. My bro said Idaho. Either place don't sound fun at all, to keep it all the way a buck with you. The chat went with Delaware. I seen Delaware. And a quick shout out to the chat. I didn't even mention the chat. A quick shout out to the chat. Winter Breeze, King P, Treatment Lines. These are badge holders, y'all. These are some of our day ones. Culture, Ebony in the building. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Again, I went with Nebraska. My bro went with Idaho. The chat went with Delaware. The rest of the world at 39% went with Delaware. What do you think about that?
That would be boring. 'Cause you know what I'm saying? It's on the East Coast at least. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Where? I mean Idaho. I'm sorry, Idaho. My bad. I'm looking right, bro. I'm looking right at it. My bad, bro. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I ain't gonna hold you. I would go to a Nebraska Cornhusker game than anything else. But again, Boise State got them fire uniforms, the blue turf. You know what I'm saying? But this ain't about college, just college. We talking about just the whole entire experience. So, you know. But again, that's according to the census. So, shout out. All right, moving on to our next popular opinion question. Best HBO made movie on this list. And if y'all know the history of HBO, they made some fire movies. All right. Number one, The Cherokee Kid. Number two, First Time Felon. Number three, Geek Airman. Number four, Miss Every's Boys. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Studied, bro. It's nothing but star. Even if they got two lines in the movie, that movie is heavily star studded and it's funny. Very funny movie. Me personally, I think it's the most underrated movie on this list because it's definitely the most underrated movie on this list. I'm gonna say First Time Felon. First Time Felon is absolute fire. Where you have Omar Epps, you got Tretch. They playing Vice Lord. One playing Vice Lord, and one is playing I can't think of the other gang right now, but one is Vice Lord and the other, I believe, is GD. I'm not sure if he's GD, but one is Vice Lord and one is another gang. You got, Clifton Powell. Y'all probably know him best for playing Pinky. And he's in there. If y'all know his acting chops is on a whole nother level. You got Delroy Lindo, another legend in the book. It is a fire movie about a cautionary tale of young kids coming from each side of the track and really having to navigate their way into society in a very real way, facing manhood in a very real way. So me personally, I'm gonna say First Time Felon. My bro went with the Cherokee Kid. The rest of the world at 41% went with the Tuskegee Airmen. What do you think about that?
Or either one of them.
And all-star studded fire movie, the acting, the chops in that, like it's just crazy. Let me pull up the Tuskegee Airmen real quick, just for y'all to understand uh the type of acting that was going on in this movie. Uh HBO movie. So just to give y'all an idea, Lawrence Fishburne, Cuba Gooding Jr., Andrew Broder, John Lithgow, Courtney Vance, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Alan Payne, bro, Christopher McDonald. This movie star-studded, y'all. So HBO used to have a history for putting up fire movies, and this was like in the '90s, from mid to like late '90s. Movies was just absolute fire. So make sure y'all tap in. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next popular opinion question. A quick shout out to Mindy Sue in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Hit that like, hit the 100s, hit them likes, hit the 100s. We appreciate tapping in. Make sure you stay engaged in the chat. And for those of you, if it's your first time tapping in tonight, again, Stay engaged in the chat. Hit them ones if it's your first time tapping in. All right. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next popular opinion question. Most populated U.S. city on this list. Most populated U.S. city on this list. Number one, San Diego. Number two, Philadelphia. Number three, Houston. Number four, Dallas. Let me know what y'all think in the chat, bro. Which one you going with?
People that moved to Dallas in the last couple of years, big corporations and stuff like that, big money. So I feel Dallas is taking it.
I'm going to agree with you. I believe it's also Dallas. Dallas, to me, I've been to Dallas. Dallas is so spread out, and there's so much land that is still uncovered in Dallas. And Dallas is fire. Like Dallas could fit even way more people than what it has in Dallas. Dallas don't even feel overcrowded, to be honest with you. So I'm agree with you, bro. I'm going with Dallas as well. In the chat, they going with Philly. Again, both me and you went with Dallas. The rest of the world at 54% went with Dallas. What do you think about that? Remember, y'all, this is what we think, right? But the actual truth on the actual most populated city on this list is actually Houston. Is actually Houston. This is what we thought, which would be the most populated. The actual most populated city on this list is Houston. Second is Philadelphia. Third is San Diego. And fourth is Dallas. I would have never thought there's more people in San Diego than it is in Dallas. I would have never thought that, me personally. But again, that's what we thought, and that's the actual factual. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Hollywood needs to ask us. We came up with this segment because Hollywood don't give us enough movies that we actually care about. They're not creative, so we got better ideas for a movie or a movie series. You want to start this one off?
I would love to see a documentary series about why does Hollywood love men in tights? Just the mere infatuation of always putting men in tights, dresses, or compromising roles. What is the infatuation? What is the purpose behind having these roles in Hollywood, writing these roles? Like what is the sum gain of these? So I would always love to see, and it doesn't matter the person because it's in Hollywood for a very long time. And if it's been done for so long, then you might as well just get rid of it because it's like why can't continuously do it. So I want to see a documentary series because like HBO right now has a documentary series called Hollywood Demons where they depict different aspects of certain Hollywood stars who fell from grace. So you know what I mean, there's a place for that in Hollywood right now. So I want to see what is the infatuation of putting men in tights and putting them on screen. So very much so. Let's see that on, especially on HBO. I know y'all could do it. You know what I'm saying? So matter of fact, HBO, holla at it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get that going.
Idea. I wonder if they was to do that, would they foundationalize the fact that when acting, the profession of acting first started, that they originally used men for all the roles, whether it was men roles or women roles. So I wonder if they would throw that into the foundational portion of why they like to see men in tights. You know, a quick shout out to Tom MC in tights. Oh, okay. Shout out to King P, Knicks. Knicks must have pulled that off. Yeah, so I like that movie. I like that. Oh, I like that documentary. I think that would be fire. Anybody that you would want to spearhead the project outside of yourself? I honestly believe that if you had narration from somebody like Eddie Griffin or Cat Williams, I think it would add more of that strength because both Eddie Griffin and Cat Williams we never seen in dresses. We never seen. Well, I mean, Friday after next was kind of like, you know what I mean? Questionable.
No matter who it is, there's always gonna be an asterisk, a question mark, an exclamation point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
A couple
yeah.
of dots. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you never come out clean. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Have ever played in any type of questionable, weirdo type of scenario in any movie or any TV series. So even somebody like Eddie Griffin would be great. I honestly believe for that particular project because he emphatically speaks against that type of acting. That Juilliard training. So dope idea, bro. Dope idea. All right, so my Hollywood needs to ask us. I want to see a 3 hour movie. Gotta be a full 3 hours, baby, of Akeem, aka Hakeem, Olajuwon, no, aka Hakeem the Dream, Olajuwon's life story. I want to see his upbringing, the basketball, and the after effect. Hakeem the Dream was such an amazing player that his story is like we cool without knowing his story, and he became one of the best players that we've ever seen in the NBA. I came to dream Olajuwon is easily in the top 10 players ever in the NBA. Arguably, when most people make their five, when you put a center, most people want to say either Will, Shaq, Akeem, Jabbar. Like he's always in the conversation. And mind you, he came out the same year as Michael Jordan. I came to dream with number one. He went number one before Jordan. After Sam Bowie, then Michael Jordan. Um, and I don't think the Rockets ever regret not taking Michael Jordan. Though Michael Jordan's the greatest player in the world, but let's not act like I Came to Dream didn't give him two championships, baby. You know what I'm saying? Pause. So I think his prophecy was more than fulfilled. He was a great player for a long time. If I'm not mistaken, I Came to Dream played about 18 years in the NBA, if I'm not mistaken, and was one of the best players that we've ever seen. So I would like to see his life story on how his journey, how him even get into college, being a part of the Five Slamma Jamma at Houston, playing with Clyde Drexler in Houston, and him going to the NBA and making stuff in the NBA. So I would love to see that story. Put the budget up. Don't give him the Dennis Rodman bad as you want to be budget or the Michael Jordan American Story budget. Give him a real budget where we can see the life story of Hakeem, aka Hakeem, the Dream Olajuwon.
they basketball skills gotta be on point too, or at least believable. You know what I'm saying?
People wonder why I keep saying both because his actual name is Akeem, but throughout the years he changed it to Hakeem. So, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just giving the proper context to it. Shout out to Christopher in the building, top 2, 3 centers. Yes. Sam Bowie number two. Yes, absolutely. When Jordan took a break, though. Yeah, that is a fact. That is a fact. But let's not act like the Houston Rockets wasn't loaded. I'm one of the people of the mindset if Michael Jordan never retired, he had the opportunity to win. I'm gonna be realistic when I say this. All right. I believe he had the opportunity to really win 9 championships, but I think he walks away with 8. I honestly believe the 2 years that he missed, he was going to lose one of those years. I think they would have beat the Rockets the first time, but that second Rockets team was loaded. And I think that second Rocket team would have beat Chicago. And then remember when they did their second three-peat, the very next year was the lockout. If they was able to keep that team, who won that year? San Antonio Spurs. They beat the San Antonio Spurs that year with a rookie Tim Duncan and Tim Hardaway and a rookie Tim Duncan and David Robinson. they would beat that team. And then the very next year, they would beat the next team that won that final. So I honestly believe that the Bulls easily wins 8, possibly a ninth championship. So, but those are the 2 years that I say that they would have won that fourth year. So I think they could have completed 2 four-peats, in my opinion. So, quick shout out to Rowan Jack. Uh, again, yeah, agree. Yes, yes. So yeah, man. Again, but gotta give Akeem his flowers. So, and I would love to see that movie. Anything you want to add to that, bro?
Act as Hakeem.
This might be redundant. I would have him play the older version of Hakeem because he's older now. I don't know if you remember the movie The Air Up There. The air up there was so fire where they actually used a college play. He was playing a JUCO ball, and but it was so believable how he moved, how he shake, and he had like the Akeem the Dream frame. So he was really like 6'8", 6'9", even though Akeem is 7 foot, but you could pull that off in a movie. You know what I'm saying? 6'7", 6'8", you could pull a 7 footer off in a movie. So I would use him as the older version. The younger version, I probably would use another NBA player who ambition is to act and hold court for that. You know what I mean? So that way it gives the basketball authenticity. You know what I mean? So if I don't know, maybe Pascal Siakam, I think will pull that off if he has acting aspirations. So Wimby plays Akeem. Nah, he don't look like Akeem. He don't look like Akeem. I don't think he could pull that off. I don't think he could pull that off. Basketball wise, of course, but the I want it to be a bit more authentic when it comes to the look as well. Yeah, Kevin Bacon. Yeah, that movie was fire. Or Terry Crews, Rowan Jack, you stupid. You stupid. Nah, Terry Crews could actually play in the movie, but instead of playing Akeem the Dream, he could play Otis Thorpe. You know what I'm saying? One of his teammates. You know what I'm saying? Another one of his teammates or Vernon Maxwell. You know what I'm saying? He could play one of those. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment, our see segment. One of y'all, most of y'all favorite segments of the show. Must see, must hear music, and must read books. You want to start this one off? All right, so my 3 must-see movies, y'all. Make sure you tap into these movies throughout the week. All right, fire movies. My first movie came out in 2007, directed by Lynn Wiseman. This movie stars Bruce Willis, Justin Long, Timothy Olyphant, Maggie Q, and Mary E. Winston. This movie is called Live Free or Die Hard. Pause. This is Die Hard 4. Die Hard is easily the best movie franchise outside of Bad Boys in cop drama movies. Easily, it's not even a proper conversation. Live, uh, um, Die Hard 4, fire movie, and it's a must see. This particular movie is about obviously John McClane. He's going to check up on his baby girl. Last time we seen her, she was little. There's a reporter that bust up in the crib. You know what I'm saying? The dude done found out. Oh, you miss McClane. Oh, you trying to pull a fast one? Now she grown at college, got a little boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? John drapes dude out the car, and you have to see the rest of the movie. I won't ruin it for you. So make sure you tap in to see Die Hard 4. Next must see movie. This is a very old movie, but the movie still holds up. Not just in the script, but also in quality and is entertaining. Came out in 1974, directed by Jonathan Companion. This movie stars Isaac Hayes, Nichelle Nichols, Alan, uh, uh, Anizel Chase, and Yafat Koda. And in the 70s, if you got Yafat in the movie, you know your movie popping. All right, most of y'all probably know Yafat from movies like Running Man. Um, this movie is called Truck Turner. Fire movie about a man. bounty hunter on his bounty hunter wave, get one of the most racist men that you could think of from the prisons to transport him, and you have to watch the rest of the movie. Fire movie. I won't ruin it for y'all. Third final must see movie came out in 2013, directed by John Moore. This stars again Bruce Willis, Jay 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 Courtney, Cole Hoyser, Mary E. Winston. This movie is called A Good Day to Die Hard. Pause. Die Hard 5. Fire movie. Now, this particular movie again is about John trying to find his son, and his son is in Russia, and his son is a big time criminal, and he goes over to Russia to watch the rest of the movie. I won't ruin it for y'all. So again, make sure y'all tap to see Die Hard 5, A Good Day to Die Hard. So again, my must see movies. Watch these throughout the week. These are great watches. I guarantee it. Again, is Live Free or Die Hard. Pause. That's Die Hard 4. Truck Turner or A Good Day to Die Hard. Pause again, y'all. That's Die Hard 5. Great must see movies. Quick shout out to Rowan Jack in the chat. He just gifted some people with some memberships. Some thank you. Send that man some thank yous. Send some 100s in the chat. We appreciate you as always, Rowan Jack, for contributing to the growth of the show, man. You are the dude, man. So shout out to Xavier Lawrence, April, Dope Boy, John Smith, and Brooklyn Chronicles. Y'all was gifted by Rowan Jack. Send that man some thank yous. We appreciate you. Shout out to Cools in the building. Lethal Weapon is up there too. That's a fact. Lethal Weapon is a great top cop franchise. A very great top cop franchise. That's a fact. That is a fact. Your turn, bro.
Movies, you know how I do. I always have a theme. Mine's is Hollywood parties. So since we on the Diddy train right here, so let's go to the Hollywood movies and showcase how they showcase their own Hollywood parties, right? The first movie on the list is called Get Him to the Greek. Came out in 2010, stars Russell Brand, Jonah Hill, Rose Byrne, Diddy himself, Elizabeth Moss, Cole Meany, uh, Christina Aguilera, Lars Ulrich, Nick Kroll, Nico Falaki, Pink, and Mario Lopez. About this music exec who comes up with this concert idea for this washed up artist, and you gotta watch the rest of the movie to find out what happens at the party and what happens at the rest of the movie. Fire movie right there, very slept on, and they got a bunch of imagery on there that I mean very questionable now if you go back and watch it. Next one on this list is called This Is the End. Came out 2013 and stars Seth Rogen, James Franco, Jonah Hill, Danny McBride, Jay Baruchel, Michael Cera, Evan Goldberg, Craig Robinson, Emma Watson, Channing Tatum, Rihanna, and Mindy Kaling. It actually follows Seth Rogen actually as himself in the movie, and they're in the Hollywood Hills, and they set to go to a party, and you gotta watch the rest of the movie to find out what happens at the party. Crazy, yeah, I'm telling you, the party ends up bad. You know what I'm saying? So gotta check it out, see how that happens. Last on the list, Eyes Wide Shut. Came out in 1999. Stars Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman, Sidney Pollack, Madison Eglinton, Todd Field, Lily Sobieski, Maria Richardson, Vanessa Shaw, Julianne Davis, and Alan Cumming. About this top level doctor, private doctor who thinks his wife is cheating, and he goes out and tries to cheat himself. And you gotta watch the rest of the movie to find out what happens when he ends up at the party. You know what I'm saying? So these is top Hollywood party movies right here. You know what I'm saying, I don't know if you want to go to these type of Hollywood parties, but you could definitely watch the movie in the comfort of your own home and make your own decision. Again, so these movies were Eyes Wide Shut, Get Him to the Greek, and This Is the End. Don't Nah.
Dope movies. Again, this is 162nd episode. We give you our fire movies each and every episode. All right, y'all. Moving on to must hear artists. Make sure y'all tap into this artist. Y'all know I deal on a different vibration. Whether you classic hip hop fans or R&B fans, you know I'm gonna give y'all that feel good music as always. Whether it's new, whether it's old. So this week, this episode, y'all gotta put these three songs on your playlist by this artist. Okay, a new artist that I've heard, and I went through his music and it's fire. And these three songs y'all must put on your playlist. All right, make sure y'all tap into the artist name 100 Kufis. Again, 100 Kufis. That's the number 100 Kuffis. Make sure you tap in and put these three songs on your playlist. Number one, Put Me Through. Number two, Family Away. Number three, Fake Love. Make sure you put those songs on your playlist by this artist. Fire songs. So make sure y'all tap into 100 Kufis. All right, moving on to our must read books. You want to start this one off?
Was always afraid of hospitals before this book. After reading this book, I definitely don't like hospitals. So this one is called Medical Apartheid. It came out in 2006. The author is called her name is Harriet A. Washington, and it's a basically a very, very, very deep dive into the industry of medical hospitals and how racist their policies and their implementation of surgeries and procedures and pain protocol is all based on, as the book would say, racist ideology. So definitely check it out if you ever get a chance. Again, the name of the book is called Medical Apartheid by Harriet A. Washington.
That book is a very good read, so make sure y'all tap in. You got Cologne for us?
Feel good, y'all do smell good, y'all gonna do good. This fragrance this week is called Free Yourself, and the fragrance, the name of the fragrance is called Air. Again, the product is Free Yourself, and the name of the fragrance is called Air. Definitely tap into it.
The goal is to smell good, get that nice looking woman under your tuck and have a good time. So make sure y'all get that smell good. How about some Barry White? Shout out to Archibald, Naomi in the building. Shout Rowan Jack. I don't know if you guys have changed your setup for service provider, but it freezes up real bad, guys. Yeah, I haven't changed up anything. I've actually got more to make sure that we were set up, but it's I don't know what it is. It just seems like every time I talk, y'all can see me and he freeze up and vice versa. So I don't know what's been going on for the past couple of episodes, but I thank y'all for just holding us down and seeing us through because is very frustrating, and we've been exhausting every option on how we have our setup. And again, this is our 162nd episode. Is we have so many episodes that we never have this issue ever. I honestly could say we have at least 150 something episodes, like 159 episodes without this issue. And again, we apologize if it is freezing up. on your side. We're doing everything that we could do to combat this. I kid y'all not. I really like it's frustrating to me because it's even hard to make clips, and it makes my work to make the clips after this extremely difficult and extremely hard. So again, we want to thank y'all for enduring, with the freezing on both of our sides when each of us is talking. But we are trying to fix it. At first, I'm thinking it was a YouTube thing because I seen it on other people's platforms as well, and it wasn't just us. But this past week, I've seen other people that was unfrozen, that was frozen prior to. So I don't know what's going on as far as that. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. We did cologne. We got the cologne. Moving on to our next segment. Y'all already know what time it is, y'all. It's time to wrap. This segment is brought to you by Button Snaps, where you get the official movie, shows, and documentaries, the finest of selection right now for $4.99. Again, at Button with the hyphenated sign, snaps.com. That's Button, hyphenated sign, snaps.com. Make sure you go there right now. I'm sorry, not right now, after the show. Make sure you go there after the show and tap into the finest movies for $4.99. All right, y'all. First hot topic of the night. Truck explosion damaged multiple homes in Chicago suburbs. There's a video of a truck going down the road in the suburbs and it just explodes. What do you think about that?
Transporting the or when it exploded, you know what I'm saying? Truck doesn't just explode like that, so it had to be transporting something, driving wild, and probably tipped over, caused some kind of chemical reaction for it to explode. So, want to know what they was traveling with, and then why were you in residential areas with that type of chemicals and stuff like that, knowing that there are rules and regulations as to where you're supposed to travel with stuff like that in your vehicle. So the mere fact that you were in a residential area when that happened is like very suspect. So, was there anybody injured during this occurrence, or nobody got injured? Right?
Of course, property was damaged. Luckily, based on that explosion in itself, that nobody was injured. But property damage, a lot of property damage.
List and again, like why was they even driving in a residential neighborhood with volatile chemicals like that in their truck?
This is very dangerous because if they was able to put a chemical like this in the truck, can you imagine on an airplane? Or can you imagine on a larger space or more people? And this is solely going to fall into the hands if this was like a mail carrier. This is going to fall directly in the hands of the mailing process because in the mailing process, you have to make sure that certain things are not combined as far as material. So people have to be more forthright on what they're sending in the mail. They ask these questions for a reason to make sure that there's no hazardous type of chemicals that when combined, it causes explosion. When they separate, nothing happens. But you have to be more forthright on what you're sending because this is why they ask these questions. Do you have batteries or anything that's explosive? Most people would just say no, just because they don't want to pay the extra money to do the due diligence. So I think we have to be more cautious on how we're sending things, and we have to be even more extra cautious on where these things is going. How is it being transported? Because that explosion, where it was and located, it was only by the grace of God kids wasn't playing on the street at that same time. And this was like in broad daylight. This was like during the day. So this easily something even more catastrophic. So anything else you want to add to that? All right. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. WNBA, man, they keep failing, fumbling the bag again. I didn't know, and I did my research on this young lady. Did you know the Seattle Storm has drafted a center forward player, Dominique? Malanga, she's like, she looked like, I don't want to say she looked like, but her game is unbelievable. She could shoot inside out, got handle, and she dunks whenever she wants to dunk. I thought I created a player in my 2K24, 6'4", crossing everybody over, going to the whole dunking like Joanna man. In real life, there's a woman, Dominique Malonga, who's a rookie. But of course, in the WNBA, they don't give a lot of chances to the rookies that come into the league. But this woman has game. This young lady has game. Again, she could dunk whenever she wants to. She could go to the hole and actually be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna put you on the poster." And I've never heard of her before. And I accidentally heard about her, and then I had to do a deep dive and be like, "Yo, what them stats looking like?" And she barely plays. What do you think about that?
Gotta get it together. They got a star player like that. They got get media behind them and get a push so you can have more attention to the league. Because you got a female that can dunk, like that should be something to use as a tool to get more recognition to the league, more eyes, more people to buy tickets, and more revenue. So that's on the WNBA to find ways to market this talent and get them out there, make them the face of the league, get them endorsement deals, get them a Gatorade commercial. You know what I'm saying? Get them something, get them all kind of something. So you need them out there in the limelight to get uh, more eyes on the WNBA.
Right? They just like watching the beauty and the art of basketball. Majority of their biggest supporters or people that go to the games, watch the games, are men. But if somebody would handle, shoot from the outside, shoot from the inside, silky smooth, and is able to dunk, do that really market to women? You feel what I'm saying? So the WNBA has a serious marketing problem because the face of the league is Caitlin Clark. But you got a lot of sisters in the league, and they don't want Caitlin Clark to be the face of the league because they feel like they better, right? But you can't control whether if Caitlin Clark is the face of the league because that's up to the fan base. The fan base supports Caitlin Clark because she's skilled. She can shoot. She can score. She can pass. She can lead. Her brand is basketball. See how I tie that in? You have people that like watching basketball, who's your biggest basketball base, and you have your biggest draw, as in Caitlin Clark, who fan base or who her brand is basketball, y'all. So we gotta stop doing this. Like, you have to put the dollars where people are going to. Simple and plain. And a young lady like this, who's silky smooth, that could dunk, that could shoot. Oh my God, this is a marketer's dream for the WNBA. And she's young. She's a rookie. She's like 21. Why do I have to go down a rabbit hole and just find out on a whim about this girl? She should easily be in the TikTok algorithm, in Instagram algorithm, in the ESPN algorithm. And why do we not know about this young lady like that? And she could play, but again, for most people that don't know, most rookies that go to the WNBA barely makes the team, so they barely get minutes. They really have to earn their minutes because the WNBA is a veteran based league. So, and it's not driven by talent. The NBA, you have guys who are veteran based. There's a place for veteran guys, but there's a place for young talent and potential. And that young talent and potential, their their ceiling is higher than the guys who are veterans that you know what you're going to get from. It's just a beautiful marriage in the WNBA. So WNBA got to find their groove on how they develop talent, showcase talent, because there's no way the rest of the world don't know this young lady. I'm just saying. Shout out to Paulo in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. If you're here to support, we love to have you. Hit that like button, hit that 100 in the chat. If you're here to be weird, we're gonna hook you up with some tickets. Okay, so don't be weird. We'd rather have you as a supporter, but I will show you my bad side if you are trolling. Okay, okay. All right, moving on. Oh, you want to add anything to that? All right, so moving on to our next hot topic. Carmelo Anthony has been officially charged with the murder of Austin Metcalf as an adult. She's going to be tried as an adult. Um, this the Carmelo Anthony uh, says in his self defense stabbed uh, Austin Metcalf at a track game. This was in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. If found guilty, could face up to 40 years in prison. What do you think about that?
If he's found not guilty, you know what I'm saying? So it's now going to trial, and that's where the fate lies now. It's really up to his lawyer to really plead his case and showcase that he was not the aggressor at that moment in time.
Bad because you really have these two kids that's gonna like always forever be affected. One kid has a very different outlook of what happened, and it's all based on defense. It's all based on the fact that he feels like it started raining. He was just trying to cover himself, and the treatment that he felt that he received from this kid that passed away, he felt like he had to defend himself. On top of the fact, this particular kid was, a football player, so he was kind of sizey. He was about like 250 pounds. Also, I did not know he was approached with his brother. So it was basically 2-on-1, and, you know, he felt like he had to defend himself like anybody else would. Um, Based on the evidence of what happens in this discovery of this trial, it is what it's going to be. And unfortunately, we still have a world that has a layer of our world that's based in racism. And it doesn't have to be. Racism is used as a tool by the higher ups, right? But we're not. None of us is born racist. None of us are born with any type of pre notions of what the other, race is about, and this and that and the third. That's why I love subgenres and subcultures because sports. We just talked about sports, music. It brings racists or the racists together. Um, so the 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 case is going to be on the behest of the juries based on the evidence, and I will hope that this would case would go based on the evidence. And I wish Carmelo Anthony the best of luck, especially if he acted in defense. Um, and condolences to the Metcalf family. So, sincerely. And some people say, well, how can you say, you wish him luck and say, condolences to the family easily, easily. That was still a kid. He was a grown kid, but he's still a kid. He still was a part of something that situation shouldn't even happen. His family life has changed forever, regardless if he was the aggressor or not. His family life has changed forever. Now, him being the aggressor, it makes a difference in the case. It makes a difference in his memory based on his personality and what he projected. But the fact that he's gone, he's still a young kid that died way before his time and died without really dying for something. He didn't stand on anything for real when he died. If said to be true based on what's been said about the case. Any kid that crashes out on any form or level under a certain age, they're dying before really dying for something. So again, my condolences to the Metcalf family, and best of luck to Carmelo Anthony and his family. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Anything you wanted to add to that? Okay. Uh, moving on to our next hot topic. Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion says, Tory Lanez, please leave me alone. She sent out a tweet or X that went viral. At what point are y'all going to stop making me have to relive being shot by Tory? At what point are Tory and y'all fans stop lying? Like, how much is the check to keep harassing me? Why is this happening every day? 1 minute, y'all said I was never shot. Now y'all letting him play in y'all face again and say I was shot, but it wasn't him. Oh, okay. And she goes on and on, basically trying to say, in other words, that he was the one that actually shot her, and that we're trying to find ways to get him off based on the recent stabbings in jail. What do you think of her comments about leaving her alone and the internet should leave her alone?
Evidence that wasn't admitted during the trial because Tory Lanez had shoddy representation. Tory Lanez had representation that wasn't submitted certain things in evidence that could have definitely got him easily exonerated. But for some reason, they never did that. So he never had a fair trial on that regard. And because of all based on the evidence that they did put in during trial, just on those alone, he should be released. And at the very, very least, maybe a mistrial, but because of the fact that there was no gun residue on his person, showcased that he never shot her in the first place. But the fact that they never brought that into evidence by his defense, you have to also bring in the that defense attorney and that law firm and bring them for like some judicial review, because it's like how could you not do that for your attorney, I mean for your client, and when that was a very big piece of evidence that could have changed the outcome of the case, you know what I'm saying? But the mere fact you never brought it up is like, yeah, now you gotta be brought up for questioning as well. So there's a lot of other moving parts in it, and it's a lot of moving parts involved as well. So it's like it's not the if she's going based upon the fact that she's saying that he shot her based on the evidence that wasn't submitted, that's not the case and that's a lie. So it's like just on that alone, should be released soon. You know what I'm saying? Very soon. So hopefully he's recuperating, getting better health because of the attack that he had last week. So hopefully he goes through with that first and foremost.
It's so crazy that the script of young cultured men, our life is so expendable, regardless on class, whether it doesn't matter where you're at, well, class basically is financially, but it doesn't matter if you're a genius or you're not smart. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you dress nice, you dress bummy. It doesn't matter if you're a nice person or you're a bad person. It seemed like it's part of the script that our life is expendable, and no matter how the script is drawn out, if we lose, it's like, okay, we lose. The fact that if there's doubt, because that's what reasonable doubt is, y'all. If there's doubt in the case, then he shouldn't have been locked up at all. If there's evidence that would give doubt, then again, he shouldn't even been in that place at all. So the mere fact that he was even convicted, had to do the time, has been in an incident that could have killed him. So you shouldn't have been there. So it makes me believe that there's a bigger play that's going on why he's there in the first place and why he continues to still be there. Because we was talking about it in November that he was about to be released. What happened to the release? They was like, yeah, no, we don't know nothing about that, bro. Go back. So this has to be a bigger play with all this evidence, and this is why people are poking holes because of the evidence. If the evidence creates doubt, then I don't care how Megan Thee Stallion feel. I don't care. If there's doubt in the evidence and you're covering something up, when he gets released, there should be an investigation on what really happened. And if her story doesn't match with the truth based on the evidence, because we have forensics and we have all, like you said, powder residue. Mind you, we had somebody that cut a whole deal to basically use her testimony against Tory Lane. So this person has been tested or anything like that. So if she was the actual person, then not only she should go to jail, but also Megan should go to jail for lying and backing up that story. All because people are in their feelings. So I don't care how Megan Thee Stallion feel about this. If you're lying, you're lying. Because we have evidence. And we're not going to let people just, again, ruin our lives like it's expendable. Anything you want to add to that? I quick shout out to Nick in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Shout out to Rowan Jack. Book recommendation: Dr. Seuss, Star Belly, Sneak. What did I say? Star Belly Snitch. No, that's not Snitch. Sneak. Star Belly Sneaks. I'm all I could barely see it. But anyway, shout out to you. That's a book recommendation: Dr. Seuss, Star Belly Sneaks. Sneaks. Uh, Shout out to Nick in the building. Shout out to Patrick in the building. It's sad because Tory Lanez is such a talented dude. I hope they set him free. Shout out to Coachman in the building. He looks like, uh, come on, man. Be here to support Widow. Accountability for false accusations need to be step minimum sentence. You pronounced it right. Okay. Dr. Seuss Starbelly sneezed. Okay, cool. All right, y'all. Make sure y'all tap into that book, y'all. Make sure y'all tap in. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Uh congratulations to Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter and longtime girlfriend Leanna. They got married. They got their nuptials. They had the whole wedding. He gifted her a new Bentley truck at the end of the wedding. New life together. What do you think about that?
Clad and it's not some goofballing. And you know what I'm saying, protect your assets at all costs. You know what I'm saying? Love is good and all, but this is business. So make sure your assets is well protected. I think you did mention they had nuptials, so you did the right thing.
Phil, Travis Hunter has had one of the best years of his life. Follow me. He had an amazing season at Colorado. Got to play both ways. Won damn near every single college football award. And on top of that thing, won the Heisman Trophy in front of your family, your mom, your lady, and your little brother. Coaches, your friends, star studded. Not too much longer after that, signed with Adidas for a lucrative deal. Not too much after that, graduates from Colorado, I believe, with like a 4.0 GPA. I think he even graduated summa cum laude. I'm not sure for a fact, but his GPA was like 4.0. So he was a part of the National Honor Society, if I'm not mistaken. So, and then not too long after that, get drafted number 2 by the Jacksonville Jaguars. So you go to a team that don't have no state tax, and they looking to build their team. Jacksonville's just gonna love Travis Hunter there. And now to cap it off with marriage, he's found love, right? Beautiful. He found somebody that he feels like he wants to build his family with. Wonderful. I'm all for that. I love love. And I love when people find love at an age where they could grow together. But like my bro says, you just never know what other people are feeling and thinking at a whim. So at the very least, protect yourself. That's all. Love each other up. Go crazy. But also protect yourself. Because again, when people feelings go up and go down, you love, you hate, you want to stay, you want to go, there's real complications that happen after that if you don't protect your assets. So when somebody's there for the love, protecting your asset, they should want you to protect your assets. Simple and plain. So I'm pretty sure they have their situation is solid because they went through a lot, those months after that game where, they had their thing and it was caught on camera and the internet went hammies on her, right? And it was for good reason. But Travis Hunter's like, yo, I'm standing with my lady. So she's no longer my girl, she's my wife. So people gonna treat her with that respect because you treat her with that respect. So love her up. Y'all go crazy. Just protect yourself. That's all. Protect your assets and do your thing, man. So congratulations. I wish you all the best, bro. And I don't say that sarcastically. I genuinely mean that. All right. Anything you want to add to that? A quick shout out to Patrick Torres. I believe that Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter are the best picks in this year's draft. I agree with you. I agree with you. But it really depends. They're the best picks, but Jacksonville has to find the formula on how to use Travis effectively in the NFL. I believe he's going to be great at both, but it has to be a way. It has to be some sort of formula because this is the NFL, bro. It's going to be very hard to play both ways. Pause. But if anybody could do it, he can. So Abdul Carter, absolute beast. The only thing I don't like about Abdul Carter is his football jersey number, bro. His number is ass. 51 is it's terrible for a player of his caliber. No disrespect. Change your number, bro. And it's not just me saying this. I guarantee you, if you ask the average New Yorker, they hate 51 on you, bro. They hate it. They hate it. I know he was trying to get 56. Lawrence Taylor said no. He was trying to get number 11. Phil Sims said no. Phil Sims should have let him rock. Bro, take 10. That shouldn't be hard to get that off of Eli. You know what I'm saying? Because me personally, I don't hold Eli in a high regard like Giants fans do. But Abdul Carter, in my opinion, is a better prospect than Eli. But Eli didn't bring the city 2 chips. Can't go undenied. But Eli number is not retired, if I'm not mistaken. So I believe he should have been able to wear number 10 or single digit. Give him number 1. No, neighbors wear number 1, but find him a single digit to rock because 51 is absolute trash on him. So I agree they the two best prospects in this year's draft. Look out for Mason Graham though. Mason Graham is a beast. I'm trying to tell y'all. Shout out to Don Myers in the building. Falcons winning the Super Bowl. Don, you know damn well the Falcons is not winning no Super Bowl. You know that. You know that. You wanted to see my face like that. Pause. 51 is a combo of LT and so I'm not mad. I get the combo, but it's ass. I get the combo, Patrick, but the number is ass. 51 on him is ass. You know it. I get the logic, but it looks ass. He was better off winning 15. It looks trash. I'm not even gonna hold you. It looks trash. Shout out to Don again. Penix next goal. Penix is a good player. He's solid. Goat. Yeah. So moving on to our next hot topic. Uh, Moving on, NBA playoffs, NBA playoffs, NBA playoffs. Yesterday, the Minnesota Timberwolves beat OKC. They down in the series 2-1. They beat OKC 143 to 101. They beat the brakes off of OKC, and Anthony Edwards led the charge with 30 points. What do you think of his performance and the team's?
That they're able to get a win, so it can extend the series a little bit longer.
You got two top tier shooting guards going at it. I love it. You got SGH and you got Anthony Edwards going at it, bro. And I just love this matchup. And this new energy is young energy, the new stars, and they at the top of the pinnacle of the new stars. So they got to continue just to make their way. I love this. I love the series. The series, every game has been a war. And Timberwolves, I mean, they beat the brakes off of them yesterday. It was crazy, 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 crazy. I hope the Timberwolves tie it up next series to extend it even more to make it a even better series. Moving on to the Knicks and Pacers series. Knicks down 1-2. Pacers won the first two games at home. Knicks came back from 20 tonight and beat the Pacers. I believe the score was 106 to 100, if I'm not mistaken. Um, what do you think about that?
Definitely a needed win, so we can extend the series a little bit longer. So I want to see my Knicks do better for the next game on Tuesday.
Could have been down 3-0 in this game. I mean, the Pacers was up, I believe, by 20 in this game. I thought they walked away from this, but the Knicks slowly crept back, and so I'm loving this playoff series because it's giving me that nostalgia. It's giving me, like, you've seen a lot of the older guard at the Madison Square Garden Knicks series those first two games. Then you got Reggie Miller in the building doing the sports commentary, so they're getting that passed down hatred and rivalry that we've been begging for all year long. So I'm loving this series. I'm loving the performances and how gritty it is and how out of nowhere that it is. Uh, this series is a gambler's nightmare. If I'm well, I did that, but if I'm gambling, I'm not touching the Knicks and the Pacers series at all. I'm not doing it. I'm not touching the over. I'm not touching the under because either way, it could go either or. I'm not touching a spread, and I'm not touching the money line. I'm not touching either or. It's a nightmare. I'm not even touching player stats. Pause. I'm not touching rebounds. I'm not touching points. I'm not doing it because this is a nightmare. People just trying to get it, how to get it. This is about winning. That's all this is about. It's about winning. It's not about stats. It's about winning. So this is a nightmare, and I wouldn't even touch it if I'm gambling. I ain't gonna hold you. So shout out to the Knicks for getting that win and making it a better series. So it's 2-1 Pacers up. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. Africa Bambaataa, legendary rapper Africa Bambaataa, aka Lance Taylor, lost his child sexual abuse civil case, where he abused and trafficked the plaintiff that remained nameless. When he was 12 years old, uh, he trafficked him and he abused him, SA'd him, and he was granted a default judgment because African Bavada didn't even show up to court. What do you think about that?
You're gonna be, you're gonna go to court and you're gonna be there to showcase your not guilty um aspect of it all. But to not show up for court at all is just doesn't look good. And then the egregious nature of the crimes that they found guilty of in a civil court proceedings, not criminal, but civilly, it just looks bad. And the person that it is too, like just looks bad all the way around.
Campbell, who has spoke against Africa Bambaataa, saying that he was essayed as a young man. He used to go to his house on a regular basis, and he did things with Africa Bambaataa, and it's very unfortunate that a lot of these kids, their voice fall on deaf ears. So I'm glad that there was some sort of justice on the civil aspect of it, because they wasn't able to get justice on the other side, on the criminal aspect of it. So I'm glad that they got some sort of justice. With this type of shame, I'm not surprised that African Bambaataa didn't make his way to court, because this is very shameful. He's looked at as a hip hop pioneer. He's looked at as somebody that helped contribute to the growth of hip hop at some point. And you can't tell the story of hip hop without him. So to have this type of asterisk on the culture is very disheartening, and there's some sort of small justice within the civil case. So I'm glad that they was able to win that, and hopefully they're able to use some of that money to get this further help in counseling, so that way they don't share and pass on that hurt, because hurt people. So I hope they do get that help. To, 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 the Hawks are trash. I'll go back to what they said. The Hawks are trash. Knicks can't keep coming down from 20 all the time. That's a fact. That's a fact. Patience. Is a fact. I Going back real quick. Me and my bro talked about the series. The Knicks, they need to make Cat play in the paint in the fourth quarter. Simple and plain. Got to play in the fourth quarter, bro. In the fourth quarter, he still want to be jacking up threes. Play in the fourth quarter, bro. And you gotta use your bench. Continue to use your bench. When you're playing against the Pacers, you running and gunning, and they playing at a great pace that they used to. They play at a frantic pace. They used to it. You're going to need your bench, because in the fourth quarter, these guys ain't gonna have no legs to shoot. So yeah, I agree with that. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Weird or nah? Weird or nah? Men complimenting each other. Is that weird or not? Reason being, I'm asking this question. This is my question. Cam Newton was interviewed with Jamal Bryant on the Jamal Bryant podcast. And during the interview, Cam has on shorts. He's sitting there, and the host says to him, "Hey, man, you have pretty legs, man." They, I think he was trying to say laminated, but he said they laminated. they it's shea butter and Jergens. They glowing in the dark. So is that weird or nah? That's just a man complimenting another man.
Going to play all types of technicals. Somebody should have threw a summons in there and child support because that's just crazy. I'm saying that's just wild, egregious work. And because it's Hollywood and it's just always these, like I said, question mark niggas. Like you got asterisks by niggas' foreheads and shit. It's like there should be no question about your man. That's something that should be never a question at all. But when you have situations like this, I shouldn't have to question. You know what I'm saying? It's something that shouldn't never have to be questioned. But when you have situations like this and it leads to questionable, you know what I'm saying, aspects of it, then it's like, yeah, you're a questionable type dude. Like there should be no reason why two grown men having interaction, having a conversation, it leads to gestures and moments like that. And it being recorded on top of that.
Kind of nice. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You know, this is all the way weird. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. I've gave a guy a compliment before, but this was my compliment. Hey, bro, I like your sneakers. Those are fire. Hey, bro, that coat, fire. I've never said to another man, bro, your ankles in them kicks, dude, bro, the way your shoulders is looking in the coat. That's Sherlin, right? I could tell because I could see your shoulders. Never said that. I've heard other men compliment myself and other men the same thing. Hey, bro, like that jersey. Hey, bro, where'd you get those limited edition kicks? I've never heard another man compliment another man with, hey, man, you got some pretty legs. They laminated or laminated, right? Because laminated, I believe, is like silky or like lotion or something like that. And then like they shake stay butter with Jergens. They glowing in the dark. So that sounds like a lot of fantasizing over another man's body part, bro. Like where they do that at? I mean, like for real, where do they do that at? If if a man uses certain words against another man, regardless if it's a compliment or not, yo, stay away from me, bro. I should not hear glistening from a man to another man. I should not hear shea butter Jergens. I shouldn't hear none of that to another man. I'm sorry. I shouldn't hear your legs is glowing in the dark. That's foreplay talk, bro. What are you talking about? Suplex is coming next. Or get away from me, bro. So to me, that's all the way weird. Where they do that at? You just and some people are like, oh, yo, you being homophobic and this, that, and the third. It's just certain things, y'all, that men we don't do. And then on top of that, it's certain things as men we don't say to other men. It's weird. What is he supposed to say after that if he doesn't swing that way? What is he supposed to say? Yeah, thanks, bro. You know, I do try. You know, I've been working out. You know what I'm saying? I put the little lotion on my legs before I came on your show. Is that's what he really supposed to say? or he's supposed to chalk that up because he don't want to seem a certain type of way. He's comfortable. Oh, you comfortable getting a compliment from another man? A compliment from a man sounds like I said, hey, bro, nice jacket, nice kicks, nice jersey. Bro, where'd you get that hat? I ain't never seen a San Antonio Spurs hat like that. I ain't never heard glistening shea butter activities. And what else he say? Glowing in the dark. Man to man body parts. Yeah, and in the chat, y'all crazy in the chat. That sounds very Diddy. It damn sure do based on this case because Diddy a freaky boy. We learned that Diddy is a very freaky boy. This is crazy, and this is Hollywood, bro. This is Hollywood. Anything you want to add to that? Yeah, we talked. My bro talked about men in tights early in the episode, where what's the fascination with Hollywood and men in tights. Um,
And that's the fascination. It has to.
I don't think women understand this because men understand what I'm about to say. There's a low level of violence amongst men when we communicate. What that means is the beast in me, pause, recognizes the beast in you, pause. That means fisticuffs. That means getting it shaky. That means getting it rowdy in a violent nature to the death. But most men choose peace because once we take it there, anything is liable to happen. So we choose to respect each other so that don't happen. That's why you send men to deal with men. Because men is going to have understanding and have that foundation based on you do you, I do me, bro. Glistening, legs is shining in the dark is no foundation of that. So that's all the way weird. I wouldn't be comfortable receiving that type of compliment. Obviously, this is bros get down as far as the host Jamal Bryant. This is his get down. If he could compliment, you know, Cam Newton on live air like that, I can't imagine what he say to other men off camera. So hey, to me that's weird. God bless you, bro. Anything else you want to add to that? Shout out to the ghost in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi, he was in court. He admitted that he got played by Cassie because they asked him. So did you feel like you really got played by the situation? He got played by Cassie at the Diddy trial. Freak offs while dating. What do you think of the Kid Cudi's testimony?
Situation any better. It just makes Cassie look like a willing participant. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't seem like she was coerced, forced in any one of these situations. You were just mad that when you broke up, he put the next chick in position that you felt you were supposed to be in position. And I really feel as though all the stuff that you were willingly doing at the time, now that you look back on it, you want some get back. So that's really what I feel as though all this stuff is. And it's like, all right, Kid Cudi's time on the stand, it's like, all right, you trying to say that this guy Diddy just is the mastermind behind everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? He makes sure everything goes down. Nobody can do nothing if you don't go through Diddy. Like, come on, stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a whole bunch of it's a whole Hollywood machine. Like, it's not just one person. What Tupac said, ain't no one man above the crew. You know what I'm saying? So ain't no one man above Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? It's Hollywood or bust. That's it. Pause. So just I feel his testimony just leads more credit to the fact that Cassie was just complicit to a lot of stuff. And it just leads to like, yo, there's a bunch of other people involved in this. Like there's a lot of freaky people in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying?
say this, y'all. The art of music and the art of acting is beautiful. It's the art. But the culture and the foundation around it is crazy based on the gatekeep. Is they freaky. They get freaky, they been freaky, and now we in a space and a place that is just all coming out. So the question for real, is now what? That's the best question. Once we know these things, now what? Now what? We had a feeling that Diddy was a freaky boy based on a multitude of things, based on how he moved, how he, the stories that came out. The interview on Drink Champs was crazy when he told Fab, was like, "Yeah, we ain't never party," and Fab was like, "Yeah, what you talking about? We party for my birthday." He's like, "Nah, but we ain't never party." You know what I'm saying? And anytime a brother say, you know what I'm saying, there's some extra stuff behind the, you know what I'm saying, we ain't party. You know what I'm saying? And he and Jadakiss on the low ski was like laughing under you know what I'm saying, under the knuckle. He was, like, yo, I'm gonna get, he got his chuckle on because he knew what type of time Diddy was on. Not saying that Jada was doing something, but I'm saying that he heard the stories. He know he a freaky boy. So now what? So now what? Outside of the fact that they still have to prove criminality, all they confirm is Diddy is a freaky boy. Now what? What you gonna do? He been doing this. He goes dolo from state to state, trying to get it like how other people get it. And he got Cassie with him, had Cassie with him. This is Cassie words. They went on Craigslist. They found models. They had a dude named the Punisher come through and couldn't punish. I'm just saying, this is all based on the testimony. And he likes certain things. So now what? We know Diddy a freaky boy now. Now what? Now what? So y'all either prove your case that he's done criminality based on the RICO, or let it go. Because if y'all let him go, now what? Now what? Nobody can say or use anything against him no more because now people know. Now what? If we found out, because you remember the voice of Diddy and Meek Mill's support, because it was Meek Mill's voice, but that could have easily been AI, because we have AI now or whatever the case may be. So his voice could have been altered in some sort of way to use it or whatever. But if that video was true, if it was true, let's say that the video was actually true. Now what? Ain't nothing gonna change. He going to continue to be a freaky boy. You're going to continue to make money. If that was true, Meek Mills will still be out here making money, making music. What's going to change? Ain't nothing going to change. People still going to buy his records. So, being that we don't know is true, all we know that is true is Diddy's a freaky boy. Now what? Not a damn thing. Lil Smokey said, not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. Ain't nothing going to change. Quick shout out to Rowan Jack. He just gifted the check. He just gifted. Appreciate you as always. Diddy did for music, did for the music industry what Harvey Weinstein did for the movie industry. Bad actress on the rise. Oh man, but see, I think I think Diddy I think Diddy ended up getting the best. I won't say the best, but I would say he got people who are the most known, not just the bad artists. I think he got good artists too that we ain't gonna see come out and say that obviously because they feel like they have something to lose. But obviously, we live in a world of if you know now what. If you know now what, now what's going to change? What's going to change? Because the only reason why he losing money for real is based on the company that helped set up this whole thing. I believe is Bellagio, where he had their thing with them, and it helped spark all this other stuff with Diddy. showing you that stay in your place. Placism. Maybe it's not classism. Maybe it's placism. Showing him that he's not going to be the top of the pecking order. Pause. Shout out to what's the heck? Appreciate you tapping in. Shout out to Roman the Great. Appreciate you tapping in. Diddy and R. Kelly, GNA collab at Alcatraz. We need them gatekeepers for quality control. Oh man, that's a fact, Rowan Jack, man. That's a fact, Rowan Jack, man. Appreciate you as always. But yeah, so I don't think nothing changes from this at all. And Kid Cudi himself, again, y'all was both dealing with a woman. Well, Kid Cudi was dealing with a woman that was always gonna go back to Diddy. She ended up with her husband, the husband that she's with now. She still ended up going back to Diddy. I have a video that I put out on TikTok that went viral, and I did this and I released the video damn near like 7 days ago, and women are still commenting like I put it out today, talking about, well, your comment is giving that she's not a victim. She's not a victim for real though. Like, yeah, she's a victim on the sense of domestic abuse because we seen the video of him whooping that ass. Was he wrong? Absolutely. Do I advocate that? Absolutely not. If I seen my sister, my cousin, my loved one getting treated or being abused by their boyfriend or husband like that, I'm suplexing him on sight. I'm putting him down. I've done it before. And it didn't work out in my favor, might I add, because my cousin ended up, I'm not going to go there. I would still have stepped in. So is she a victim of domestic violence? Absolutely. But she's not a victim of this of the sex, bro. She UTIs. She has so much UTIs that the regular cranberry juice and a little medicine ain't gonna do it no more. She had to get opioids to endure the pain. So she liked the little pee in her. Let me not go there, but y'all get where I'm going with this. Y'all get where I'm going with this. She's not a complete victim, is the point that I'm making. And I don't give a damn what the women are saying on my TikTok. They're saying, oh, well, it's given. I don't care what it's given. The woman said it out her mouth. She liked the freak off. She said that in court. She sent text messages. I can't wait to do a freak off. They stopped seeing each other. She hit him. Was like, yo, what's up with a freak off? He hit her. Yo, you down to freak off? You down for FO? Come on now. Come on now. Let's be adults about this. We need them gatekeepers for the quality control. They still laughing. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. This segment is brought to you by Bravo Section. Make sure you go to bigbravosection.com. Again, bigbravosection.com. If you're in the Miami area, you can book a session with one of the best photographers in the world. If you're not, you can still book that session. They'll come out and take care of your session, but it starts again at bigbravosection.com. You have any words for us from the Black's Law Dictionary?
Is understand. So understand is to know, to apprehend the meaning to appreciate as to understand the nature of and effect of an act, to have a full, clean knowledge of, to comprehend, thus to invalidate a deed on the ground that the grantor did not understand the nature of the act. The grantor must be incapable of comprehending that the effect of the act would divest him of the title of the land set forth in the deed, as well as in connection with the execution of wills and other instruments. The term includes the realization of the particular effects and consequences of the proposed act. Right. So next word on the list is resident. So resident is any person who occupies a dwelling within a state, has a present intent to remain within the state for a period of time, and manifests the genuineness of the intent by establishing an ongoing physical presence within the state, together within the indica that his presence within the state is something other than merely transitory in nature. The word resident, when used as a noun, means dweller, habitant, habitant, or occupant, one who resides or dwells in a place for a period or more or less duration. It signifies one of residence or one who resides or abides. All right, so next word on the list is appreciate. So appreciate is to estimate justly, to set a price or value. When used with reference to the nature and effect of an act, appreciate may be synonymous with know or understand or realize. All right, so last word is charge, to impose a burden, duty, obligation, or lien, to create a claim against property, to to assess, to demand, to accuse, to instruct a jury on matters of law, to impose a tax, duty, or trust, to entrust with responsibilities and duties in commercial transaction, a bill or invoice, to purchase on credit in criminal law, to indict or formally accuse. So the words this week were charge, appreciate, resident, and understand. You have any words that you would like to know the legal definition of, definitely leave the words in the chat and I'll look it up for next episode.
Serious about your words, gonna look it up, and you know what I'm saying, got the real Bible there for us. These words have power, have meaning, and we need to know these words, y'all. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment, our Keep the Lie Live segment. Keep the lie live. So my Keep the lie live for this episode is dating is a warfare, y'all. Dating is a warfare. Y'all know me on this show. Y'all know me for our day ones, for our people that really support. Y'all know how I give it up. Men and women, we need each other. That's how it works. I need you, you need me to do whatever that we're trying to do. Have sex, have intimacy, have children, have a relationship, regardless of where we're going to go with this. I need you. We need you. And vice versa. We live in a day in a space where dating is basically planned warfare. There's a thing called double texting where people, when you text somebody, you don't keep texting them because if you keep texting them, you're showing that you're too eager to show them that you like them. In my estimation, you want to show your interest. You don't need somebody to text you back immediately to get an interaction. Now, if somebody likes you for real, they're going to interact with you as often as possible. But sometimes people, when they don't get the interaction immediately, they automatically think that they're not being liked or loved or whatever the case may be. So it's case by case. If you're dealing with somebody who's very busy, sometimes you may have to send them two, three texts in a row. So that way, when they finally text you back, they're going to text you back and y'all can have a real conversation. But dating is such a warfare because when you get somebody's number, so for some of y'all get, social media platforms. Regardless of what you get, whatever you get, you wait days to hit them up because you don't want to show how eager you are. What happened to I can't remember the last time that I met someone and I was happy to like their ass. I can't. I meet. I live in Orlando, y'all. I meet beautiful women all the time. I literally live near where the Orlando Magic's play. So that's constant action. But it's not constant true connection because everything in this new dating, which is warfare, feels transactional. Majority of the women that I meet, it's not necessarily transactional as far as if I do this financially, they do this physically. That's not what I'm talking about for myself. What I'm talking about in general is mainly that it's transactional. Is you do something for me, meaning I text you, text me. I call you, you call me. If you generally genuinely like someone, you like them. You hit them up, you have a conversation, and you ask important questions. Not what's your favorite, not just what's your favorite color, what you like to watch. No, how many, when was the last time last time you had a test? Your sex test. When's the last time you was checked? What's your family upbringing like? Are you still involved with your parents? How many friends do you have? These are real questions, so that way you can gauge on what you need and what you want in a partner. But dating is warfare. So what point is people going to stop putting down the strategies and just open up their heart? Because you're going to miss 100% of the shots that you don't take if you're truly trying to find somebody, because that's the whole goal, is to find somebody. And before you know it, guess what? Time done pass. Especially in your 20s. In your 20s, real talk, men should not even be choosing a wife when they're in their 20s. Because most men don't have it together yet. Most men is working hard. They're finding their craft. They're finding something that they can do very well without it feeling like work. So that way, when they do it, they're getting paid for something that they would do for free. That's what most men should be striving for in their 20s. Now, most women in their 20s, get your education, but also start your family because that's the most optimal time physically for you to do that. Now, there's women who have children in their 30s and their 40s. I get that. But that's not the best thing for your body necessarily. The younger you are, the better it is for your body. And you're in a place in a position where you can grow at a younger age. So most women in their 20s should be looking to date older 20s, 30s, 40s year old men. So that way you could secure your future and your family's future. But we have to put down these strategies and open up our hearts. It just seems like we look every day on social media. We see the gold digger guys where they find the gold diggers. Then you have the other guy that's walking around with the fake sausage, to see if women will be geeked up on this fake sausage. So everything feels transactional. It doesn't feel authentic. It's not genuine at all. So at what point do we stop the strategies? Do we stop the warfare and open up our heart, open up our mind to really finding a partner? Because what we're doing now is getting further and further away from each other. What do you think about that, bro?
Social media is just the constant bombardment of just too much bombardment of just of everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's a constant reminder of like just you can just find anything that you want. Not saying that it's always a good thing to just have that in your hand, but it's a major distraction, and it wasn't so much of it in our lives as it was 20 years ago. Like I think it would be a different outlook in dating, but because it's just a tool that we use every day now, it kind of like puts a stigma in dating because of all these different stigmas and all these different I guess you want to say like rules that never applied or never was a thing before. Now all of a sudden it's a thing. So it just social media in itself, it just ruined dating all the way for me. Period.
Very choosy on who we choose. It's not just the looks. It's not just about that. It's not just personality. Principle matters. If your principles is not aligned with each other, it's never going to work. It's never going to work. If you don't have the same output, it's never going to work. Two crackheads is a better relationship than somebody who is a millionaire and somebody is better than somebody who's a millionaire and somebody who doesn't value money, because the two crackheads value the same thing. The person with money may value money. The other person that doesn't have money probably values time. So align yourself with people that have the same interests as you do, and not fainted interests. Don't have the type of fainted interest like, oh, we like the same shows. That's not a real interest. Find similar interests that y'all could build off in each other, because at some point, that nostalgic of, when she walked through the room is going to kind of fade a little bit. But it picks back up when y'all have the same interests, and it reminds you like, damn, you're beautiful. And because we have that same interest, we have a bond that can never be broken. We really like this, and our interest is really about this, and we could talk about this for days and hours. So it transcends just the physical appearance. Also align yourself with somebody that keeps themselves together physically if that's important to you. There's no way, if your health in your workout routine is important to you and you dating someone who like, yeah, I'm beautiful no matter what, don't matter. It's never gonna work out because your principles are not aligned. So be careful on who you choose. Don't be afraid to choose, and don't be afraid to put yourself out there, because dating is a warfare. But at what point, when do we gonna put away the strategies and use our heart and use our mind? Shout out to Mr. Handsome in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Shout out to Chief in the building for tapping in. Shout out to T for tapping in. There you go, T. Appreciate you tapping in. So that's my keep the lie alive for this episode. And it also goes like, we seen the result when you don't have everything in common, and when your principles is not aligned together. We just seen Papoose and Remy Ma, where you would think because they both are rappers that their principles were a lot the same, but that's just what they did for a living. And what they hold value in wasn't the same, based on what she spoke about against him and what he spoke about against her. Their values didn't align, and it came ahead. And the reason why it's so ugly is because all the things that they should have said to each other in a real way, where it could have been a resolution based, now is hurt for her. And Papoose, I haven't really heard him really speak out of hurt. He's probably hurt based on the things that she's saying, but it sounds like he's just trying to set the record straight. You could tell that Remy Mont's hurt. You could tell that, because anytime somebody is really moved on, they don't want to talk to your new work, because they so involved in their life and enjoying their life. They don't want to give advice to your new work and they don't want to have anything to do with your new life. So you have to be careful on who you are choosing, because dating is a warfare. Warfare. That's my keep the lie alive. Appreciate y'all tapping in as always. Y'all been amazing in the chat with the engagements. Hit them 100s. Hit them 100s. Hit them 100s. Hit them hearts in the chat. We appreciate it. And again, we thank y'all for supporting the show. This is episode 162. So again, we want to keep coming every Thursday. Pause. Keep coming every Thursday and Sunday to give y'all fire episodes each and every week. Quick shout out to some of the sponsors of the show: Bravo Section, Button Snaps, OUV Records, If you're interested in becoming one of the sponsors of the show, you can hit me on Instagram at Ashley Lovechild, or you can hit my bro on his Instagram at, again, if you're serious about being one of the sponsors of the show, you can hit us up on Instagram. Again, new album, well, new EP. My new EP is on the way. It's coming out in a couple days. Uh, May 29th. May 29th, my new EP is dropping. It's called Winners Loyalty. So make sure y'all tap in. Again, it's called Winners Loyalty. In the meaning between time on every music platform. Tap in Ashley Lovechild. I got fire music. Some of my best albums. Ready to Live, soundtracks of my life. I got fire albums, so make sure y'all tap in. I know my bro got his website. Make sure y'all tap in, show that love, y'all. Again, we're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're a little over 11, so continue to like, subscribe, and share. And share, y'all, and share. Hit the comment section. We got over 400 rewatch videos of this podcast on this channel. So make sure y'all tap in, watch, leave comments, and share. Again, there's membership portions of this page, different memberships get different access. So make sure y'all tap in. Also got merchandise links in the bio. Tap into the merchandise as well. Again, we thank y'all for the growth of the show. I feel like we're missing one more thing. Also, again, thank you to the presenting sponsor of the podcast. It's Button Snaps. Again, where you get the finest of movies, shows, and documentary, all for $4.99. Again, at Button Snaps. That's button hyphenated sign snaps.com. That's button hyphenated sign snaps.com. Again, if this is your first time watching, we're on every Thursday, every Sunday at 10:30. Can the Brothers Get a Rap? I'm Ashley Lovechild. That's my brother Santana. And again, we thank y'all for tapping in. We'll see y'all this Thursday at 10:30. And don't forget to hit that all notification bell, because you just never know when I'm gonna pop up. So again, make sure y'all tap in. We'll see y'all this Thursday, 10:30. And y'all already know, man, it's love. And we'll see y'all next time.